Again, we're going to do a third video now on commas. I'm on my third clean page. Another way we use commas is to set off interruptions. To set off interruptions. And let me give you an example. You could, for example, take Albert to the store. You could, for example, take Albert to the store. I interrupted my thought here with for example, so we need commas on either side. You could, comma, for example, take Albert to the store. You could say something like, you could, in fact, take Albert to the store. In fact, if we substituted that in here, would still be set off by commas. You already know that you use commas to set off interjections. You learned a couple of weeks ago that an interjection is a word that shows strong emotion. Wow. Abe Lincoln was an amazing president. Wow. Abe Lincoln was an amazing president. The interjection is wow. And of course you know by now that you need a comma after the interjection. We also use commas in direct address. That means if I'm speaking to you directly. In direct address. So if I want to tell Albert something, Albert, you look mighty cheerful today. Albert, you look mighty cheerful today. I use a comma after Albert's name. Albert, comma, you look mighty cheerful today. So when you're speaking to someone, you use a comma. Now, if I were to put the name in the middle of the sentence, I was just thinking, Albert, you look cheerful today. I was just thinking, comma, Albert, comma, you look mighty cheerful today. So if I'm addressing Albert in the middle of the sentence, I set his name off both sides with commas. We also use commas to separate adjectives. We use commas to separate adjectives. You know, sometimes you'll have a string of adjectives. You'll have a whole bunch of things that you want to say about someone or something. So if I wanted to say that Albert is a cheerful, springy, yellow metal bird, I would write Albert is a cheerful, springy, yellow metal bird. Okay. I've got 4 adjectives. Cheerful, springy, yellow, metal. Cheerful, comma, springy, comma, yellow, comma, metal bird. So I'm separating the adjectives using commas. One more to go over. You all should remember this. We use commas. So if you're writing a letter to Albert, you would write, Dear Albert, comma, and then you would finish, and then when you were all done with the letter, you might write love, comma, Mrs. Dam. So I'm using a comma after my ending word before my name. Okay, that was a lot of ways that we covered commas. Don't worry, we're going to practice all this week in class. If you have any questions on these notes, please talk to me, Mrs. Dam, or to Mrs. Turner, and we will be happy to help you. And again, we're going to practice all week long. Have a great night.